pitfalls that the companies themselves have to worry about come in a couple of varieties. So number one, is the company really the right candidate for an equity crowdfunding campaign? We've seen in the crowdsourcing space that the companies that do the best tend to be consumer products companies, or the people out there that are viewing these portals and these sites have some sort of affinity for the product. That's why films do so well. I think consumer products companies are probably best suited for this sort of platform. So the reason I mention that is because a major pitfall would be for a company that doesn't have that sort of engagement with the public and can't build that kind of affinity, listing on a platform, tying itself into a crowdfunding form of funding, and then failing it to raise its funding. That would not be a good thing. That would be a pitfall. So I think you have to be real careful that you get the right kind of company for this. Secondly, assuming that the company does get listed on a portal and it does crowdfund, disclosure is going to be very important. Here in the Silicon Valley, where I'm primarily based and primarily practice, companies sometimes go a little skimpy on disclosures to their investors because we're allowed to do that oftentimes with the types of placements that they do. Not like that with crowdfunding. Every material fact is going to have to be disclosed. And some of us worry that companies are not going to be in a position to make all of the material disclosures that they should, just because of the size of the transactions that they're allowed to complete and because of the administrative costs behind that. So I'd say the number one legal pitfall is disclosure. Secondly, keep in mind that once you're into this system, you might end up with lots and lots and lots of little shareholders. And this is something that comes more from wisdom than from they say the life of the law is experience, and this is something that comes from experience. Lots of investors means lots of potential plaintiffs. Lots of investors means lots of problems. Investors have a right to information. They have a right to bug the company. They may want to be transferring shares, although they're limited in doing that under this model, but they may have lots of questions. They may place a lot of demand on the management's time. It may be a very high distraction value to having lots of little shareholders. And then thirdly, keep in mind, if you need more money and if you need institutional money down the road, how are they going to view a company that has hundreds of little unaccredited and possibly non-sophisticated, probably non-sophisticated shareholders? How are they going to view that? I can tell you that I have had deals crater because there are too many unsophisticated shareholders. So it's something that I think a company has to very carefully consider before they make the decision to list on the portal. Now, for the right company, this could be a very good thing, but for a lot of companies, they may want to go the traditional route.